So we can do what's Hondo on the mic. From Leo's Paradise, random stream drop like a Dragon Ball fight. No lie, plan stream stacking up, but here's a twist in time. Freestyling on the deck like Luffy's punchlines. Up the channels faster than Zoro sword swings. Gaming pop culture, it's the chaos he brings. Talking movie reboots, superhero hype. Hondo passing the mic, now Bishop's in sight. Cutting flip screen, frame by frame, I align. Laying bass lines heavy, keep the rhythm divine. Dropping 5 videos, can't keep up with the pace. Pass the mic back, Leo's leading the chase. Off the rails, no script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life. No script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life. Off the rails, no script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life.
And welcome back to the lunch hour. How are all you vital idols doing? Another day, another shitstorm on the internet, but hopefully y'all are gonna be here, have a good time, we chillax, make some light of it, and it's almost done with the work week. It's Thursday, we about to round it out, so hopefully I'll give you guys some comfort to go through for those of you in the U.S. right now, whether it be 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 11 in the morning, if you in that avocado time. Point is, we're gonna do something. I'm your host, Danny D. Jugs. Let's get on into it. There's a lot going down. Some of it I'm familiar with, some of it not so much. Supposedly, Smash JT is a exposed collective shout and their insane grift, their scam, so to speak. Let's see. There we go. That's better. Center that shit. There's apparently like a YouTube boycott. I think it's over the AI. Using the AI to age verify thing. We're gonna learn a little bit about that. PayPal apparently put the boot to Steam. That I didn't see coming. Well, I shouldn't say I didn't see coming. I didn't know happened or has already happened. Apparently that was a thing yesterday, so we're going to learn a bit more about that. And then there's some VTube drama if we get to it. So, all this and more is going to be a banger show. Before we get into it, let's go ahead and see how many of you absolute vital idols are in the house. We got Gravestone, how you doing? Golden Apples in the house. Divine at Duckworth is here. Fably, fantastically, amazingly brilliant. Hail to you. Daxton, our best mod in the whole damn land. Saku Kocho is in the house. We got Peepers, the titty kitty. What up? Shebrew, the lovely Sherry, showing off her lovely Sherry's. And Jeremy Hughes Review, officially back in college. Mad, congrats, you love to see it. Do anything and everything you can to better yourself, your life, your situation. Just hopefully it is a real college and not one of those liberal indoctrination machines. That being said, guys, let's get into it right out the gate, off the bat. We got our boy, Smash JT, supposedly exposing collective shouts, $500,000 censorship scam. So, let's see if there's any truth to it, because to be real, we've been dunking on collective shout for like the entirety of since we've started doing the lunch hour streams. It just so happened they more or less coincided with one another. And before we get into that, Smooth the motherfucking DJ coming in here with a raid. You'll love to see it, guys. If you don't know who Smooth the DJ is, he's been on the show before. He's a great dude. Make sure you sub to him. Mods, you know what to do. Be dropping links and shit. Make sure that Smooth gets the love he deserves. Thank you so much. You didn't need to. You are an absolute gem. Yeah, Psychotic Mongoose in the house. How you doing? Seabrew noticing it. The Smooth raid. Smooth, it is nice to see you. I hope you still out there killing it, my dude. All right. Let's go ahead and get into this collective shout situation, because it would not be a Leon's Lunch Hour if we did not cover the ongoing censorship issues.
A number of people reach out to me over the past 3 or 4 days, and I've actually used that time to compile a lot of information for this story.
It has been a while, Adam.
Today. And it is not just me. This was very much a community effort and lots of effort of people that don't want to be named. They just wanted to share.
I love it when we name people that don't want to be named. When folk don't want to be named, it means they got shit to hide. And if they got shit to hide, that means we get to expose a motherfucker. So yes, this is my kind of video. Let's go, son.
Information, provide links and research that they've done on this because they want to contribute, but they don't want their name associated with this because they just don't want a part of it. So shout out to all the anonymous people that were reaching out to me with this information. Because holy crap, it's a lot that we're gonna go through. I posted on
learn some dirt on Catgirl. Well, we do have, I don't know if you're referring to the same thing, but there will be some VTuber drama that I'm very interested in later on in the show. So
Smashers Early Access, Collective Shout, the quote-unquote charity that turned censorship into a business model. And heading over to smashat.com for the article that was written up in combination with these other people. A deep dive into this quote-unquote charity. If you've been following the recent purge of adult...
A charity that, might I add, and I've been saying this since I've been covering them, all this went down, that there is, at least that I can find, no verifiable proof that they have ever actually done anything of any substance or substantial assistance to actually help women and or children.
Games from Steam and itch, you, like many others lately, have heard about Collective Shout. They brand themselves as a grassroots charity challenging objectification, yet their campaigns help trigger payment processor pressure that nuked thousands of pages of legal content and blindsided devs who were never made anything illegal. From where I'm sitting, the entire situation is sketchy as fuck. This all began when an anonymous tipster sent me an email from Collective Shout. All
right, Smash, I love you, brother. I love you. But you wrote this article. Surely you can read it with a better cadence than this. Come on, brother.
Directing to their website, begging people for money. And that is a story I covered the other day.
Yes, Abe.
That I still can't believe they put out there. Asking people for thousands of dollars to continue this grift that they're running. The grift was on, and I had to dig further. Since then, even more people have come forward behind the scenes to me.
Yeah, apparently, Roman 5.
And them not wanting any acknowledgement or credit. They only want people to know just how evil this group of twisted feminists really are. To get the truth.
Now, I'm going to be real. I don't like the fact that I get not naming your sources, because that could lead to a bunch of complications. But I do hope there's like legit real evidence shown, because there's been many folk on our side of the aisle that have talked about fake news, talked about fake journalism, that we bitch and moan when there's never any sources. We bitch and moan when it's always like, oh, look at this. Here's 1 or 2 tweets that the opposition is using as an example, and they've got 2 likes, and they've got 0 followers. So, I mean, I'm going to hold Smash to the same standard, or in the case of the opposition, lack of standards they so often have. If you're going to have anonymous sources, that's fine, but you better come with legit receipts.
Out there. And yikes.
Yes, Beardo can't read.
Some details on this charity, guys. And it is, it's curious.
All right. This looks pretty legit. This looks pretty official. This looks like receipts. I'm good to see that.
If I were to tell you that Collective Shout was bringing in revenue nearly $500,000 a year, would you be surprised? Because I was.
I'm actually surprised it's that low. Yeah, you say bringing in revenue, $500,000 a year. That's it. That's honestly kind of nothing. I don't know if the rules are the same in Australia, but in America, to be considered a quote-unquote charity or nonprofit, you only have to donate something like 8% of your profits or something like that, or 8% of the total, like, collected money for these charitable causes, because so much of it goes to overhead, like your rent, paying your employees, things to that effect. So to be a non-for-profit, you don't actually have to donate that much. I think it's something like 8%. So yeah, if it's anything similar in Australia, the idea that they're only total revenue was not even $500,000. That's really not that much.
I looked at this on the surface with this handful of ladies that just scream like banshees at everything they don't like that's not pushing women power forward. I would have said maybe they're making 10 to 20 grand a year. Maybe, and that's really pushing it. Not $500,000. And this is a quote unquote charity that's been around for years now. They are a registered Australian charity.
Right, they've been around for years. They've been around since like 2009, I believe. Apparently registered since 2013, according to this right here. So in 12 years, I mean, they're only rolling in $500,000 a year, and that's covering, again, all expenses, paychecks, all the different departments, the actual donations they do, assuming they do any. Hold on, let's roll it back a little bit, because we got revenue from the government, 1.12%, right? That's what this would be right here, is 1.1. I think that's what this is. Revenue from goods or services, 13.78%. And then revenue from donations and bequests, 85%. So 85% of the nearly $500,000 they generated was from donations. Now, revenue from revenue from investments would be this bright blue, this 1.12. Okay, so I wonder who the investors are. It says they're getting no revenue from the government. I don't buy that for a second. I'll be real. I don't buy that for a second. And yes, correct, Divine. A lot of charities are political fronts.
$1 million.
Look no further than the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation or the Clinton
that's been
Foundation.
around for
Both of those are
years.
political
They
fronts.
are a registered Australian charity. They must report annually, and they got their ABN number. They got all the information. All their ducks are in a row. I checked everything I could. I verified it with ChatGPT. I even put it in there. It says, does this look legit to you? They're like, yep, everything looks legit. The only thing ChatGPT came back with after going through all the charity stuff was they said they could have tied up a few of the loose ends when it came to the Melinda Tankard Reist and how Melinda has her own speaker organization agency.
Adam, I already have today's schedule for all videos planned out. I could possibly, depending on if it's something that seems worth talking about, do it on Neon Leon tomorrow, though.
He runs herself. And I found this curious. Is she using Collective Shout to push her own brand forward? Or is she using...
I don't... No, I'm pretty sure she is married. I don't know about with children, but I'm pretty sure she is married. That being said, I have zero doubts that her husband is a cuck while she fucks black cock.
her brand because she cares so much about women empowerment and just
oh,
saving
gotcha.
young
All right,
girls.
yeah, I'll definitely check it
And
out.
she really does want to go around speaking everywhere for it. So I dive into her profile. We find her own website, and she is writing about herself in the third person. She is an author, speaker, and media.
Bro, if you writing about, if you're doing your own, like, about the author section, write it in the first fucking person. Just write it in the first fucking person. Don't write in third person like you some Julius Caesar ass looking motherfucker. God damn.
Media commentator, blogger, advocate for women and girls. She is best known for her work addressing sexualization, objectification, harms of pornography, sexual exploitation, trafficking, and violence against women. Well, that all sounds all well and good, because all those things you could look at and be like, well, yeah, I don't want any of those happening to girls.
Correct. This is the problem with these folks. This is the problem with all these folks. This sounds great on the surface until you look into what they're trying to ban, until you look into their methodology, until you look into their ideologies, and then you realize, oh, these are just a bunch of fancy buzzwords for things I don't like, even if it's not actually real, or even if it doesn't truly affect the youth, or even if it truly doesn't. Like, this is all a front for pushing an ideology. That is the inherent issue with not just Collective Shout, but any and every single organization like this, especially those that have ties to the governments, like we have proven time and time again the Collective Shout has when it comes to ties to the Australian government. Nearly every head honcho Collective Shout has ties to the Australian government. Do you really think a charity designated as a small charity, which we saw just earlier in this video that Smash was sharing, they are, on the legal filings, they're designated as a small charity. Do you really think some small charity would have access to make the global payment processor systems bend the knee? A small Australian charity could affect the payment processors on a global scale. No, they're front. There's someone much bigger running shit behind the scenes.
We need to stop that kind of stuff until you realize her methods, where she will stop at nothing and say, for the greater good, the end result is, I don't care what we need to get banned. We need to protect these girls. Even if what we're banning does not directly impact them in some transcendental way, if it may somehow reach them somehow 20 years in the future, it needs to just not exist. This is her mentality. This is how she talks about things. This is on her actual YouTube channel called MTR with 21 subscribers.
Damn! Well, Pride Pack, if you're listening, you are officially more famous than Melinda Tankard Reist, at least in YouTube. Correct. Exactly, Adam.
I see the effect of this culture on our young people. I see the way that they get distorted ideas about their bodies, relationships, and sexuality. And what I want to do is try to help our kids to unpack and dissect and analyze those negative...
That is not what you want to do. Nothing about what you're doing is you trying to help. It is you trying to use the governments and then even supersede governments and use other businesses, global businesses, to force an ideology. That is not helping. That is, I was going to say, it's not really, I was going to say fascism, but it goes beyond that. That is, that is what, autocracy? Technocracy? Either way, it's fucking bad.
Negative messages in the hope that they will make a decision to reject them.
What? So she wants to rid the world of communication if it's not welcome communication. Now, you're gonna have a really hard time with that one. So people now need to speak to people only how they want to be spoken to. Wow, this is... So you want to control how people are allowed to talk. Gotcha, okay.
I've had the great privilege of speaking to thousands of young people a year.
Look at how bored as shit all those young boys were. Hold on.
I've had the great...
Every single one of them, like, holy fuck, is this over yet? Like, I want to go back to, I want to go back to the class. I want to dissect the frog. I don't know, maybe they dissect fucking emus in Australia. Whatever the fuck they dissect in biology class is better than listening to this broad speak.
Privilege of speaking to thousands of young people a year in schools all around the country.
I feel so bad for these kids. They must be rolling their eyes when someone like this comes in. Oh my God.
And I see the effect this message has on them. They're coming to me and saying, what can we do to help change this? I have girls
Facts,
writing
Gravestone.
to me.
What can we do to help change this? You've inspired me. How do we stop people saying mean things to me?
Saying that this message changed their life.
Yes, Melphis Guy, to be clear, she is a fan of cuties. Because according to...
Well, hopefully I can fix that. Fantastically, amazingly brilliant. What up, Zach, you beautiful bastard? Aren't you supposed to be on another stream right now?
Make sense of that? I'm all ears.
Lives that they decided...
Yeah, I did the same thing, so you know.
Messages.
I don't think that we all realized what is being fed to us every single day, but as...
I don't think we realize what's being fed to us every single day. So basically, you were living a normal life with people just being normal with you, and then someone came in and was like, what you're hearing is not normal, and that's not...
Okay, now, to be fair, I'm going to disagree with Smash on this one. Because people don't realize what's being fed to them every single day. They wake up, they go to work, they come home, they watch their Netflix, they go to sleep, and like so many people are not clued in to all the terrible shit that's in our food. So many people are not clued in to the fact that we have a fucking world government ran by pedophiles. Like, no. This is technically a correct statement. It's just obviously bullshit coming from this broad.
Not okay, and you need to stand up and speak out against it. And it's going to cause such
Oh,
backlash
don't think about
in
that's not a big
girls'
deal,
life
Zach.
as
Come
she
on
gets
now.
older. Rejecting guys because that's not welcome advances to me because this Melinda girl said the way you talked to me wasn't okay. What?
Melinda showed us these images.
I took a couple
where
years of
she
Japanese.
Become aware of what the problem is and what we can do.
Notice they always say this. We're now aware
What up,
of what the
FWC?
problem is. Good. So you didn't even know there was a problem. But don't worry, because she's here to fix the problem you didn't even know you had.
Again, like, I get what Smash is saying, and in regards to this particular gal, he is correct. But is this not what we were talking about all the time? Like when we make videos about, hey, notice how there's ugly bitches in all the video games? Yeah, that's because these are some World Economic Forum clowns trying to force a new world order where there's no such thing as being proud of your identity. We have to have a homogenous, society where everyone is fat, dumb, and happy, and will live in the pods and eat the bugs. And we're doing our job to try and wake people up to it, whether it be through video games, using that to guide them towards the idea of media manipulation. Like, we do the same thing. So yeah, I mean, again, in context of this gal, he is correct, but this isn't wholeheartedly, this is not a negative thing in and of itself.
This is the trend with this, by the way, with grifters. Oh, you got a problem. This is like snake oil salesman. I got the solution to fix the problem you didn't even know you had.
I want to look into this issue. I want to look into, is there really something wrong with you? Are you not good enough? Or are you absorbing a message from the world that you live in that is actually lying to you?
Just like, this is indoctrination of kids, making them feel like things are awful. Don't talk to kids like this. This is awful. This is like the opposite of empowerment.
See the way in which this particular subject has permeated in all aspects of our life was really, really well done. And I think all parents and all teachers should have an understanding of this.
Yikes.
When I think of Melinda Tankard Reist, I think of three words: intelligent, passionate, and brilliant.
I also think of three words: dumb fucking bitch.
I'm pretty sure intelligent and brilliant are the same word.
She is simply without
We're not dealing with the brightest bulbs here, though, so.
peer. You couldn't have a better communicator to young people on
Facts, Roman.
incredibly important topics.
In a society that...
All right,
This
disingenuous,
person
of course.
is
How could I forget?
That is like fucking evil, to go into kids and starting to try to indoctrinate them. Like, yikes.
It's from your self-doubt. Liking yourself is a rebellious act.
Hell yeah! Thanks for the likes,
Okay, so
everybody.
that's
Keep
just
pumping those
a
up.
Quick once over with this Melinda Tankard. What we're dealing with this person that is, I believe, the founder of Collective Shout, or at least a part of Collective Shout, a very big part of it. So I went through the financial documents, and everything seemed to check out as far as
I like
reporting.
Troutmouth.
But like I said, one thing that was a little bit curious was the separation between her as a person using her name to be a speaker at events, selling her brand unrelated to Collective Shout. And it's a private commercial service promoted hand in hand by the same public figure who front runs charity campaigns.
Now, I don't know that this is such a big deal. I'm pretty sure this is incredibly normal in the let's say motivational speaker world. You know, you've got these motivational speakers that come to schools, that give these assemblies, that don't do drugs, shit, whatnot. And then they also have their charity events and then their charity companies. Like, I could be wrong, but I don't really think, and I don't like giving credit to Collective Shout in any way, shape, or form, but I also don't know this is something out of the ordinary.
I said, to be clear, on its own, it's not illegal.
Okay, good.
But
He
if
acknowledges
a
that.
charity pays a director, executive, or a related company for services that is a related party transaction, and for medium and large companies, which this is a medium, it must be disclosed in the ACNC reporting from the 2023 AIS period onward. Top of that, the ACNC also requires disclosure of key management personnel remuneration. Remuneration basically means payment or compensation for work or services. So in plain English, if the charity is routing money to MTR Pty Limited, which is her personal speaking company for speaking or consulting,
That's very
that
true.
belongs in the notes. If there's nothing to disclose, the notes should still make that clear either way. The absence of a transaction is clearly declared when I went through the documents, which, to be fair, complies with the ACNC requirements. Like I said, I want to be fair with them with everything.
I can appreciate that, Smash.
I want to make sure we get this right. So it's not legally non-compliant on that point. But the lack of any formal policy or process around related party dealings is worrying, especially given that the head of the charity, Melinda Tankard Reist, also runs a separate for-profit entity, MTR Pty Limited, offering paid speaking services. For transparency
Exactly,
and
Divina.
governance
Correct.
best practice, it's typically standard for charities to have a documented policy governing related party transactions, even if none occurred. Having none in place here feels like they hadn't even prepared for any overlap situation occurring ever.
Divina, the exact same type of people that would book Hillary Clinton for a speaking engagement for $150,000 a head. That's the type of person.
Which is strange. I do wonder if there's any overlap between the two, because that's when you could start getting into the point of, okay, there's money being donated to Collective Shout, but she's using it to fly herself places or promote her own business to grow her own speaking business. Because at the end of the day, narcissists are always the same. And it's their ultimate downfall, is they always want to benefit themselves. And she is using Collective Shout, in my humble opinion, as
I'm not familiar with
a
Oxfam.
charity
I assume it has to do with Oxford
using
College.
censorship as a business model. There's a page on Collective Shout on their website where they go through like cheering on the companies that they've taken down, the products they've taken offline, the things that are no longer allowed to be sold. They take those as like victories, each one. And it's like, this is what motivates them, waking up in the morning.
Well, yeah, of course, because at the end of the day, what do I always say? It's about control. Since this is about control, any instance they get of exerting control is an ideological victory. And if they flaunt that victory, it is their way of showing you that they have power, that they won't be stopped, that they can force an ideological change, whether you like it or not. You are nothing. You are an insect under their boot, you small, slimy parasite. That is their way of thinking. So, of course, any and every instance of censorship that is a dub for them, they will claim as a dub, and they will shout it from the rooftops.
To censor things and then make money off of it.
Oh, I'll have to look
by
more into that.
preaching about how it's a
Oxfam.
good thing. It's the wildest grift I think I've ever seen. Like, legitimately, they
Yeah, that's. I was saying that
companies
earlier, Divina. Exactly.
into bending the knee. And when it works, they post it on their website saying, we were able to get this shut down. We were able to get this to be stopped being sold. We're able to censor this from happening. And because we're able to do these things, pay us money, donate, give us money, and do these more things. Continue the censorship. We will keep pushing forward and censoring more things into a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's surreal that it's even gotten this far. And I keep going back to where's the money coming from?
That's the real
Who's
question.
donating upwards of $500,000 to this group annually? And what the hell?
What up,
are they
Schizosaurus?
spending over $322,000 on every year?
So yeah, the employee expenses are, if this is to be trusted, because again, We've seen Disney cook the books before. Disney got caught cooking the books. Why do you think Bob Chapek got fired? If Disney be cooking the books, why wouldn't these fuckers that are in bed with the Australian government and probably more, why would they not be cooking the books? So yeah, they say 33.18% are employee expenses. That number is probably higher. But what are all other expensive? Like grants and donations made for use in Australia. So what? They've not done any grants, not done any donations. Grants and donations made for use outside of Australia. Again, nothing. Zero internet expenses. How are you going to be an online-based business? I'm sorry, charity, and not have any internet expenses? There's something wrong with this graft here.
What? Are you flying first class? You flying private jets to your meetings? Like what? What the hell are you doing? Why does it cost money to send an email to cancel something? That's crazy to me. That's crazy. But yeah, that's the charity grift of
Agreed, Patrick.
Show and Melinda Tankard Reist that I had not seen anyone dive into. I thought it was pretty important to.
Wait, oh, did that say interest, not internet? Did I read that wrong?
That's crazy.
Oh, that does say interest expenses. Okay, my bad. That does say interest expenses. My bad. Thank you for the correction.
I feel like people are interested in the finances of this grift. Because my goodness, it is at the end of the day, a lot of money for a lot of nothing that they do. But yeah, with that, I'll leave that there.
Yeah, I mean, 500,000 censorship scam exposed. I'd say that's pretty accurate. I think Smash did good work there. That is legitimately good reporting. He came with receipts. Again, there's still a lot more information to be, disclosed. Where is the money coming from? What is it going to? What is other expenses? And why is other expenses 66-ish% of where their money is going? That's fishy as fuck. But yeah, no, excellent work. Very well done. So yeah, the battle against Collective Shout moves ever forward, and not really with them, because even if they're defeated, another one steps up to take their place. What we really need to do is be attacking whoever the shadowy government figure or political figure or shadowy business figure, whatever it is behind the curtain. The problem is we have to find out who that is first, and we don't know. We have theories. World Economic Forum, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, those sort of DEI investment firms. To be real, I don't think it is. I don't think it's BlackRock or anything like that, because this spits in the face of their left-leaning woke ideologies. Like BlackRock, for example, are DEI investment firms. These folks are quote-unquote right-wing. They're anti-pornography, anti-abortion. Technically, they're all the things that, on the surface, we would usually agree with. No, Patrick Rock says it doesn't make sense, this BlackRock and Vanguard. That's what I'm saying. BlackRock and Vanguard are pro-DEI. No, but Soros doesn't make sense either. Like Soros doesn't make sense either. Again, Soros is pro the extreme left-leaning agenda. This is the opposite end of that spectrum. So it's got to be someone else. I mean, it's not impossible. It could be them. It could be Soros. It could be BlackRock. It could be Vanguard. But it doesn't line up with all the other ideological bullshit they've pushed the last 15 years. So, I mean, to me, that would scream at someone or something else. I mean, unless there's playing both sides. Yeah, Hydra has many tendrils. I mean, they could be playing both sides. That's very sure. That's very true. So, yeah, there's still a lot we have to find out. And, again, Collective Shout, they're a front. They're small potatoes in the grand scheme of things, but they're all we've got so far. So we got to keep digging deeper. That being said, speaking of digging deeper, we got this video right here. We're boycotting YouTube. Here's how. Now, I'm interested in what this is because my initial assumption, that's true, it is the Uniparty for a reason. My initial assumption is that this is a boycott of YouTube due to the AI age verification issue. So let's find out.
Originally, I wasn't planning to make a sequel to the YouTube is Corrupt video, but here we are. But also, another thing I noticed is that if you look in the pinned comment of that video, I said that YouTube pretty much age restricted the video. Even though they didn't say they did, I'm pretty sure they age restricted. The reason is because if you do the restricted mode trick I told you, my video is non-existent. So I made a poll on if I should make a sequel. A lot of you wanted it, so here we are. Here's how to boycott YouTube.
Speaking of a poll, later on in the stream, so I don't know if you guys know or not, but yesterday, we did hit goal. And hitting goal means we will be doing a watch party in the Discord this Saturday after Saturday Night Hypnosis. Later on in the stream today, there will be a poll for what we are going to watch in the watch party. I had folks in the Discord put in their recommendations, and a couple came up. So, yeah, we're going to we'll run that poll a little bit later, but just so you guys know, that's a thing that's going to be happening later. Thank you so much for hitting goal yesterday, crew.
By the time you watch this video, YouTube is going to implement an AI age verification where AI is going to figure out whether you're under 18 or not. If AI thinks you're under 18...
I've followed some accounts on X that claim, I talked about this yesterday, that they have been hit by this already. Now, I don't know if it's true. I can only take them at face value. They didn't show any screenshots or any proof or anything. But yes, there are people claiming to have already been hit by this when it went into effect yesterday.
You're pretty much losing a bunch of YouTube features, and it's very controversial. Many people not supporting it whatsoever. Even digital rights groups have raised concerns about age verification, and the reason why we don't want anyone to share their IDs is because it's risky. With the large amounts of data breaches that happened over the years, there's a huge likelihood that YouTube could get hacked. Now here's the one thing, if you give your ID to YouTube, you're basically giving in. It's pretty much surrendering. We don't want that. The main thing we have to do is just get rid of everything YouTube related. Just leave the platform, tell others to not use YouTube, switch to Rumble or any other platforms that are based on video sharing, delete the YouTube app. And here's the other thing, if you have YouTube Premium, cancel it. And with...
Man, I'm gonna be real. While I respect the dude's wants and needs and thoughts about boycotting YouTube, I don't think it's gonna happen. It's not. Like, YouTube is ubiquitous these days. I mean, y'all are here. There are millions of channels on YouTube, all doing live streams right now, just like me. I mean, y'all choose to be here, others choose to be other places, but the point is, YouTube has a monopoly and a stranglehold on this market. Even if 5% go along this boycott, 5% ain't gonna mean dick to Google's endless pockets.
the YouTuber memberships, just don't sign those up either. Even
Hey, Smash, you absolute legend. Thank you so much, brother. Sent a Words of Paradise gift to membership and hit Bigabusu 007. Truly appreciate it, my man. Hey, good video on Collective Shout earlier. When it comes to those broads, this is what I think.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Thank you so much, Smash. Truly appreciated.
YouTubers do get money based on the memberships, just don't. If people don't pay for memberships, there's a huge likelihood that YouTubers could possibly swap to other websites. Like Mr. Beast's probably going to become a Kick streamer. So basically...
Not probably. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. On my phone, I don't know if it'll come up on here. On my phone, the Kick app overnight turned into Mr. Beast's face. What the fuck is up with that? Like that is ridiculous, son. So yeah, I mean, if enough people cancel YouTube, stop showing up to YouTube, will it force them to move over? Maybe, but what are these people? There's no guarantee they'll go to Rumble or go to Kick. Like, YouTube fills a certain need, a certain void that the others just don't do yet. Whether it be because of a bad UI, like, because Rumble's UI is fucking terrible. That's why I don't do very much with Rumble. Their UI is god-awful. Plus, Rumble has this stigma of being a political site. Now, it's not. Rumble has cute cat videos and gaming streams and cooking videos. Like, Rumble's got a lot of shit on it that's not political in the slightest, but that's not how they're marketed. Like, even by the right-wing media who wants people to switch to YouTube, they always tout it as switching to YouTube because Rumble's right-wing. So yeah, and then Kick, I mean, Kick people just assume is Twitch but with gambling. Again, these companies need to do so much more in terms of marketing and making themselves look like proper alternatives that can stand on their own feet if there was no Twitch or was no YouTube.
Just quit YouTube. Just quit YouTube. But there is one other idea, but it's probably not going to happen, and also it's extremely risky and could cause people to get hurt physically. My idea is going to YouTube headquarters and protest in front of the YouTube employees. But I don't want anyone to get hurt, because this...
Yeah, I've seen one Mr. Beast video my entire life.
2018. Basically, someone decided to get a gun and shoot a few people, and the reason why she did was because her YouTube channel got demonetized. Here's the YouTube headquarters.
What they don't explain, if I recall this story correctly, is that she was a Muslim extremist, but that's neither here nor there.
Maybe you could just don't be friendly to the headquarters. Maybe someone who's in the headquarters will probably hear you. But needless to say, if we do a protest, just don't do anything stupid. We could just get the founders of YouTube involved, saying how privacy is important. Or we could get a sign saying, Susan didn't want this, which...
I'll be real. If Susan was still here and still in charge, she would fucking want this. We cannot be making Susan Wojcicki, or whatever her fucking name was, a hero just because she's dead. Like that, no, that's retarded. Susan Wojcicki or Wojcicki or whatever was a fucking villain. She was. She was one of the first to institute everything that we are dealing with now as a problem. Like, yeah, exactly, Smash. Fuck Susan. Rip. But fuck that bitch. Exactly. Just because some broad is dead doesn't mean we can posthumously, regard her as some hero of free speech and privacy. She was not.
Has the picture of Susan, the former CEO of YouTube. Here's the thing. One thing I noticed is that when Susan got replaced, the new CEO pretty much making YouTube unusable. We should probably...
All he did was take everything that Susan was already doing and amped it up to 11. Did he make YouTube worse? Yeah, objectively. But by using Susan's own rule set and ideologies that were already in place. Bro, this video is ass so far.
Overthrow him. Anywho, that's how we can boycott YouTube. The ones I prefer doing is to just leave the platform. Just don't do anything YouTube related. If you're a YouTuber, just stop making videos, maybe switch to Rumble or any other video sharing website.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys right now, I ain't doing that. YouTube is literally my main and at this point kind of really only source of income. So yeah, no. Like this is my job. I'm far more of a believer of doing this shit from within and fixing it from within than jumping ship and abandoning it. Especially because you can get away with so much more on YouTube than you used to be able to get away with. Like, that's... Watch any Nux Taku video. He literally did a video the other day talking about how some cultures are inferior. Like, that's the title of the video. Breaking... it's a fact, some cultures are literally inferior, or like something along those lines, and it was just an hour and 10 minutes of him saying, fuck Somalia, fuck Somalians, they are terrible people for this country. And guess what? That video is up, that video is monetized, you get Asmongold's videos saying ridiculous shit, you've got Tim Pool, you got the Quartering. I'm not saying these are good guys, because frankly, I'm not a fan of the fucking Quartering. I think the Quartering is absolute has-been, he's a grifter, but the point is, YouTube, like, when it comes to free speech, and I hate that I'm sucking the dick of YouTube, but it's honestly one of the better ones out there comparatively to, like, Blue Sky or anything like that. No, stay on the platform, keep talking ridiculous shit, because if enough people do it, YouTube won't be able to stop it. When it's just a few people speaking their minds, when it's just a few people telling the truth or whatnot, they can shut them bitches down. But when it's everyone, especially with Trump in office, no, YouTube's going to have no choice but to be compliant with the will of the people. Hey, look at that. We got Fab, fantastically, amazingly brilliant for a 10-banger. Besides the lack of competition, most big YouTubers are found here, and so their fans will remain here. Yes, exactly. That's why when I saw some naive comments about how this can work, I just laughed. This isn't Bud Light. That is a brilliant comparison. Absolutely. Bud Light did not have a monopoly on the market. YouTube unequivocally does. And Smash, yeah, I don't know if you knew, I thought maybe you knew this, maybe not, but yeah, no, I am full-time YouTube now. I literally do this for a living. I am full-time on YouTube. So thank you so much, both of you, absolute legends, Fab and Smash. Thank you so goddamn much. Let's get y'all a clip. You know what? This is a good one.
I know now that it could never work between us. Not because you're a rabbit, but because you're black.
And thank you very much for the congratulations on the leap to independence. Taxes are gonna fuck me, and taxation is theft. Alright, let's keep going with this dog water video. Again, thank you guys so much.
Don't use YouTube. If YouTube notices a lot of people leaving, then there's a huge chance that YouTube could possibly revert the update. But because most of the people watching the YouTube is corrupt video is probably underage, there's
What
a
up, Neon Earth?
likelihood that they're just gonna go back to YouTube. So this video kind of defeats the purpose, but I'm just saying, there may be a chance that this video will not go anywhere either. So enough about the boycotting stuff.
Let's see, how many views does this have? This video is 14 hours old. I don't know, homie says it's not going to go anywhere. It's already dwarfing his previous one. His previous one had, what, 40-something thousand views? This one's at 125,000? That's not going nowhere. Hey, Golden Apples for a 2-banger. Congrats on going full-time. Thank you, dude. Truly, thank you. Absolutely appreciated. Let's see. What's a good clip for this one? Hey, let's get some apparition for Leon around here. Apparition. Isn't that what they do in Harry Potter when they disappear and reappear? But nah, seriously, thank you. Truly appreciate it. I don't know if you meant appreciation, but if you didn't, either way, thank you so much. Let's get y'all a clip. You know what? This is a good one.
I'd fuck one of the robot dogs.
There we go. Bingo, bango, bongo. Truly appreciate you guys. Thank you.
I want to talk about updates and corrections. Corrections are basically stuff that I got wrong. First of all, in the data breaches app, I said that the T app is a dating site, which it is.
Well, it also wasn't a data breach. That's something I was going to comment on a minute ago. It wasn't a data breach because there was no security in place to begin with. Like, we've all covered this ad nauseum at this point. But yeah, no, all the information was hosted on a public fucking server. That's not a data breach. Yeah, exactly, Divina. What up, Bishop? How you doing, you beautiful bastard?
It's actually a gossip site for women who want to talk about their relationships with men, dating advice. And nonetheless, T-App getting hacked 4 days before YouTube announced it is pretty wild. Second, PBS Kids is no longer funded, which means that PBS Kids will most likely go defunct in a few years. All the stuff that you used to watch as a kid will probably not be a thing anymore.
And that's not a bad thing. Again, I don't know what this guy's political ideology is. I don't know where he falls. I don't really think it matters. It's just a matter of him, I don't think, being very well read on these subjects or understanding how to actually fight them. Because, yes, PBS was publicly funded by left-leaning enterprises. So, like, all that stuff you used to watch as a kid either was already in the process of being infested then or has been infested ever since you grew up. And if you've got kids and your kids are watching PBS Kids or whatnot, like, they're being indoctrinated by PBS. So, yeah, the idea that they're losing funding is a good fucking thing.
PBS Kids will most likely become defunct. And third, I feel like the reason why dislikes got removed was because we hurt YouTube's feelings. If you know the YouTube Rewind series, 2018 and 2019 were bombed with dislikes, and
Banger! Schizosaurus for a 10-banger. What the fuck is happening in the UK? Just saw that some elderly women were arrested for chasing a murderously migrant who walked into their home. Migrant walked free. One of the arrested women was 90 years old. I wish I could say that surprised me. It does not in the fucking slightest. Like, some disgusting shit going on in the UK. In fact, Fantastically Amazingly Brilliant can probably confirm this or tell even worse stories because that's where she is. So, yeah, I mean, I would cover the UK more if it weren't for the fact that, you know, America first. But yeah, anytime there's interesting UK videos or UK stories, by all means, throw them in the Discord for me to react to. I would definitely go in on those because, yeah, it's not happening as bad in the US, even though I would say shit like this is definitely happening. It was definitely happening under COVID. But just because it's temporarily stopped over here or temporarily lessened over here with the advent of Donald Trump doesn't mean we're in the fucking clear. Not in the slightest. So, yeah, no, what's going on in the UK is goddamn terrifying. There was that retarded girl that got I did a video on this is like a year and a half or something ago. There was that retarded girl that called the cop a lesbian, not in a negative way whatsoever. Like, the girl's grandmother was a lesbian or her aunt or something was a lesbian, and so the retarded girl was like, oh, she's a lesbian like grandma or whatever. And the cop literally, like, not only arrested the retarded girl, the teenager, but, like, threw her on the ground, roughed her up. It complete and utter just lunacy. It was disgusting. So yeah, the UK is fucked. The UK isn't even the UK anymore. It's Saudi Arabia 2.0 Electric Boogaloo. Also, Bishop becoming a vital idol. Shout out. Thank you, Bishop. Mods, throw Bishop's channel in there if you'd be so kind. He's the one that made literally all of my intros. Bishop is a mad lad. He's an expert musician, expert editor, and also does some great GTA content. So yeah, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and get you guys a clip. You know what? This is something that would get me banned in the UK, so let's play it because fuck the UK.
Now excuse me while I harass someone for having pronouns in their bio.
There it is. Bingo, bango, bongo. Yeah, I posted a video in Leon's Discord about how someone got offended by a shopkeeper who got robbed, calling criminals scumbags. When did you post that? And what one did you post it into? Because I must have missed that one. Interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely need to check that out. Or maybe you posted it by the time I already got today's tabs queued up. Not sure. But yeah, in regards to the YouTube Rewind getting ratioed into oblivion, that was a big deal. YouTube was not a fan of YouTube Rewind getting ratioed into fucking oblivion. Oh, did I react to it? Okay, good. I'm glad. Never mind. I reacted to so much shit. All right, we're good.
In 2021, YouTube deleted them, which probably gives me the feeling that YouTube has an ego, because YouTube is having the ego of a rhinoceros to the point where it has to delete dislikes so they think they have a positive image.
Yeah, I can't wait for Tommy to make it to the US.
I'm just gonna be real honest, they don't really. YouTube just can't take criticism,
What up,
especially with
Christopher?
their own projects. Needless to say, YouTube removing dislikes, I don't get why. I feel like the main reason why YouTube has an ego is because, you know all those
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I think I do remember the video now.
videos saying that YouTube is corrupt or being worse. The main reason it's not getting any awareness is because, well, YouTube is just hiding it. The algorithm is just hiding videos to make sure that, oh, we don't want anyone to pretty much promote that YouTube's a bad site. We don't want that. We don't want that. No.
I mean, is that true though? Because again, this video got 125,000 views, nearly. Like, I don't... So many people are quick to blame the algorithm. And to be fair, there have been algorithm changes. Shit, me and Hypno and Smash were all talking about that this morning because we've noticed in the past 48 hours with the advent of this new AI stuff, the algorithm changed dramatically. It's not good. That being said, there's more factors than just the algorithm intentionally fucking you. So, like, while that could 100% be the case, don't deny other factors that you could potentially do to improve.
So the main reason why most videos about YouTube gets demolished is because they want to keep an image that it's a great video sharing site. Even though
This
it's
is probably
not
true
anymore.
though, yes.
It's mostly just a way to make money. I'm just gonna be real honest. I feel like most YouTubers here are just here for the money. Now for the updates. Here's the thing, I read the comments in the YouTube is corrupt video, and a lot of you said that YouTube is pretty much what I said. You all agreed with me, which
Well, I mean, YouTube has been corrupt for a long fucking time. Like, YouTube was actively censoring pro-Donald Trump stories back in 2015. Now, that's not an excuse, by the way. I'm not saying it's okay, or like, oh, they've always been doing this, so it's fine. No. The exact opposite. What I'm getting at with this is that I'm wondering how many people are just noticing it now because things like woke are dying when so many of us are trying to draw attention to this a decade, if not more ago. And yes, that's another good point, Divina. It's fucking Google.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Oh yeah,
but
Fab
a
said
lot
as
of you
well,
actually
exactly.
Gave a few information on
No, Bobby,
government
never. I
documents
find it fun.
that YouTube possibly violated. YouTube's AI age verification is going to happen in the United States, only the US. The UK and Australia have already tried ways to prevent minors on accessing the internet. It was to protect the children, which it clearly isn't. It's about control. That's literally why they did this.
Finally!
If it wasn't for control,
That is the best thing he said so far in this video. Yes, it is about control.
it would actually be genuine and they wouldn't use AI responses.
Damn
But
right,
either
Obi
way,
Dean.
Someone mentioned the Fourth Amendment, in which the Fourth Amendment says the following.
Alright, Fab, find it. Get a full screen. Because I was literally saying this to fucking Hypno the other night. What was YouTube's original slogan? Does it, in the comments, any of you remember what YouTube's original slogan was? I'll wait. I'll fucking wait. I'll give you all, I know that YouTube is on a bit of a delay. There's like a 5-second delay or something like that. I have it set to ultra low latency, so it might not be 5 full seconds. But the point is, I'll wait a moment. Any of you remember YouTube's original slogan? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. No, that was Google's slogan, was don't be evil. YouTube had their own. This is before Google even bought them. 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, Jeremy Hughes review, got it. Broadcast yourself. Golden Apples got YouTube's original slogan was YouTube, broadcast yourself, because that's what it was about. It was about you, the creator, just putting something out on the internet, sharing a part of yourself, being true to yourself, and that's where the views came from. I mean, they had this slogan before there was even such a thing as monetization. It was creator first, because there wasn't really a creator system. It was really just a hosting site for videos. People would put their family vacation photos and shit on there, just as a place to store them. And then after several years, when YouTube became a corporatized, exactly, disgusting mess, they dropped that slogan. Because it's not about you anymore. It's not about the community. It's not about what can be grown or discovered or learned. It is about the money. It's about the greedy corporatization, and more than anything, it is about controlling a narrative. And they don't want you broadcasting yourself if you don't have the correct opinions. It is sickening.
It protects individuals from unreasonable searches and seizures. Basically, you can't get anyone's private information without reason. If YouTube is saying that they
Damn, you didn't know about YouTube till 2018? That's wild to me. I've been a YouTube junkie since like 2006. Watching Ocarina of Time fucking walkthroughs and like funny Lego videos and like the OG viral videos like the Numa guy. Like, yeah, dude, YouTube is shit. Let's see. It's probably like 13 years old or something when YouTube came about. And I was doing other shit online way before that. Like, YouTube was late to the video game for me. So yeah, that's the video scene for me. So that's crazy.
It's to protect the children. Then they're really good at covering up the truth. But either who, I'm sure if a company violates an amendment, there could be a massive lawsuit that could possibly be higher than the TAP. And what I find interesting is that another document is not only from the United States, but from the United Nations.
Well, so back in the day, Adam, the 2006, 2007, 2008, YouTube wasn't the same thing it was now. YouTube had like beheading videos and people setting themselves on fire in Muslim countries, all interspliced with like video game walkthroughs and there was no quote unquote creators. There was just weird individual videos that would gain viral notoriety. It wasn't really until like I would say around 2008 to 2010 that YouTube started to become what we know it as today. And it still wasn't the same, but it started to become what we know as today.
Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
Oh, Divina, I actually broke this down on, I think it was SNH a couple weeks ago. YouTube removes, on average, 34 million videos. I believe it's a quarter. So every 3 months. So multiply that by 4. They remove about 120 million videos a year, and YouTube been around for next year will be 20 years. So that's a lot. Yes, dead internet theory. I 100% believe dead internet theory. If you guys don't know what dead internet theory is, me, Sammy 3P, and ABF did a podcast, Tinfoil Haters episode on it. Check it out.
You go to the website, no one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with privacy. If you're unaware, arbitrary interference basically means it's kind of the same thing to the Fourth Amendment. Decisions without reason. YouTube has the reason they're doing this ID stuff is to protect the children, which they clearly aren't. YouTube just wants control. They don't want to protect the children. The reason is because with all the AI slop that shows very sensitive topics and very disturbing imagery, they should be deleted within a week. And the sad
I disagree with this. This is the whole this AI slop thing. No, because let's be real. If corporations like Disney are going to be using AI slop, YouTube's not going to care. You can find. I bet you can find it right now. Hold on. Let's see. I'm gonna hedge my bets on something. No, not Google. YouTube, and then let's see. Secret invasion intro. There we go. Secret invasion intro. Right here. From Disney. We're not going to play it because it's fucking Disney. But you know what? It's right here. It's on YouTube. 139,000 views. Disney created this intro with AI. YouTube does not give a fuck about AI. They give a fuck about who is using AI. Big mommy daddy corporations like Papa Disney, they'll be fine. It's you guys.
The part is that YouTube still has all that. In fact, YouTube even showed.
Well, Divina, I use Google and DuckDuckGo next to each other to see what pops up on one versus the other. Because you know they say DuckDuckGo is supposed to be a true blue search engine. So like, yeah, I use DuckDuckGo and Google. Fab for a 20 banger. Wasn't here in the very beginning. I joined in 2009. Oh, I mean, that's still pretty much the beginning comparatively. My profile will say otherwise. That's because I got banned for saying spicy stuff based AF. But even so, you see the difference easily from back then and now. Yeah, anyone that was around YouTube in those early days. Yeah, anything that's around in those early days. Like, so much of that shit is gone now. And anyone that was around knows the difference. Absolutely. Yeah, this is for you.
Name one word that starts with G pronounced like J. Gentrification. Shoot, should have thought of that. I was just in San Francisco.
Thank you so much. Truly appreciate it, Fab. I found stuff on DuckDuckGo. Yeah, on Google, exactly. And that's why I use both side by side. Like, you wouldn't believe how often I need to get, like, images for my thumbnails or even just articles for the videos I cover that I don't see on Google that I'm able to find on DuckDuckGo, especially if I'm trying to, like, reference older shit from, like, 2016, 2017, 2018, during, like, the Trump administration, things like that. It's insane.
Orphan children starving, which is very disturbing and very concerning nonetheless. So, YouTube clearly doesn't care for the children. It's just a cover-up into what they're actually doing. YouTube is trying to get everyone's IDs to make their website more inaccessible.
I mean, now, LMA, you first of all, ElsaGate wasn't AI. ElsaGate was real people doing real shit. No, whether it's AI used for regular shit or used for the weird sex innuendo stuff, that's not gonna matter. YouTube already has, like, rules in place for how to use AI, and they don't discriminate whether it be sexual shit or not.
And if the government or the police try and intervene, YouTube will just say, oh, they're just doing it to protect the children, which they clearly aren't. In fact, I'm pretty sure every website is doing it at this point. I've heard that Spotify is also getting involved, which, wow. It's going to reach to a point where we're just going to have to read a book for fun. You're not even going to watch this video. You're just going to read a book on privacy. So, yeah, that's pretty much all the updates. Now, as for me, thank you for the support on the YouTube is Corrupt video. I didn't think it was going to get anywhere.
Bro got
but thanks.
1,600 subs off a video. Nice.
And what I noticed is that a lot of you changed your profile pictures to Clippy. I'm not too familiar with why you're doing that, but I'm not switching. I like my profile picture. I'm just gonna keep it. I know it doesn't represent that, hey, I'm protesting. I just don't want to change it. Sorry. And as for the future of this channel, well, I'm probably just gonna take a break. The break is in quotation marks is because I'm probably gonna stop making stuff. I'm probably gonna make stuff maybe once a month or once a week, but either who, I might switch to Rumble. I might try and find an audience for other websites. Needless to say, YouTube, you're not the same. I'm just gonna end the video with what I did in the first one, and hopefully I don't make a third installment into this. But thanks for watching, and all the stuff I said about YouTube can be summed up.
Correct. That's exactly correct, Fab. Also, I think you can tell this creator's on the younger side. If he's romanticizing the days when Susan was involved, he's absolutely on the younger side. Alright. So yeah, that video was, I won't lie, kind of worthless. It didn't really say anything that I don't think anybody in this chat didn't already know. Alright. Let's get into this. Apparently this happened yesterday, maybe? It happened very recently, and I covered some of the Valve stuff yesterday, but it was about mods getting banned, not anything to do with PayPal. So this is an entirely new situation to me. I had the video muted. Professional streamer, everybody.
You got more of the banks trying to do bank things.
If you've tried to buy a game on Steam recently, you might have seen this message. Valve has announced the removal of PayPal as a payment option in many countries.
Wow.
This is not a bug or a mistake. It's part of a bigger problem. The biggest question is, why is this only happening in certain countries? Now, you might remember 1 month ago when we first talked about the collective shout, Steam adding a new rule, and the mass removal of games, that it seemed like PayPal was involved.
Wow.
This is because right at that same time,
What happened?
it seemed
Well, it didn't seem like PayPal was involved. PayPal was involved. PayPal was on the list of companies that bowed and kowtowed to Collective Shout. And by Collective Shout, I mean whoever the shadowy entity behind them bankrolling them was. Is. Not was, is.
Stopped working. It was unknown if this was some bug, a coincidence, or actually related to the situation.
Yeah,
now, when you try to use PayPal in an unavailable country, you get this official statement from Valve. Steam stated in early July 2025, PayPal notified Valve that they're acquiring bank for payment transactions in certain currencies.
Exactly, fantastic.
Was immediately terminating the process of any transactions related to Steam. This is important because...
Oh, what's the bank? What's the bank that did that?
I mean, that's a good question. Do we know the bank? I'm not, does anybody know what bank PayPal uses for their services? Because that's someone we absolutely would need to take the fight to and make videos about and call out and shit like that. It's probably something I can easily Google. I might do that for a video. We'll see.
Because an acquiring bank is the bank that handles payments on a company's side. Think of it as the bank that collects the money for Steam. They go on to say this affects currencies other than Euro, Canadian dollar, British pound, Japanese yen, Australian dollar, and the United States dollar.
Yeah, so they're trying to exercise this soft power that they have in countries that aren't well regulated in order to try to put pressure on Steam to do what they want. That's what it seems like is happening.
I wouldn't say that it's about the countries not being well regulated per se, because it's more that these banking corporations have the politicians in their pockets. It's not about being well regulated. It's about being bought and paid for. It's about these. I mean, we brought this up on SNH like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Real Life Fake Wizard Googled how many politicians Visa, MasterCard made political donations to. And it was a pretty 50-50 split on both sides of the aisle. Republican, Democrat, didn't matter. Which is why, again, it was the Uniparty. So yeah, we can't even say that it was about regulation, because there's not going to be regulation at all that harms the payment processors as long as these politicians and frankly just world governments, first world governments, are in their pockets.
Means that for every other currency in the world, PayPal is no longer a payment option to buy Steam games. They continue by saying, we hope to offer PayPal as an option for these currencies in the future, but the timeline is uncertain. We're also evaluating adding
unitarity, exactly, EB.
on Steam for the customers affected
That's
by
what they
this.
need to do.
In the meantime, please use one of our other current payment methods during checkout. If you can't use any of the available options, you can consider using a Steam wallet code to add funds to your account. This confirms that they are actively trying to fix a problem that they did not create. But this statement also leaves us with a massive question. If the problem is with Steam's content, why would the bank only care about certain currencies? Why is PayPal still working?
It's because they can only control those currencies. That's why they're not controlling.
Now, here Asmongold is correct. They can only control the currencies of first world countries that matter to the actual global economy, because those are the ones whose politicians they pay to influence.
Any larger international currencies like CAD, USD, and euros. But they can exercise this in smaller countries that don't have the same level of legislation. That's why.
Perfectly fine in big markets like the US and the EU. One person on Reddit decided to call PayPal's customer service and
Yeah, exactly, corn boy,
The lady
exactly.
insisted I contact Steam because they were the ones who pulled the plug because Steam prefers customers to use their balance. When the user read the official Steam message to the rep, she became irritated and hung up. Does this sound familiar? Because it should. This is the same thing we saw with MasterCard and Visa.
These people need to get audited. That's what they need to do. The government's got to come in and...
Well, so, Golden Apples, PayPal isn't acting like a bank. They are at the behest of the bank. Basically, the bank is saying, you can't process these transactions. And PayPal's saying, okay, boss, whatever you say, because they're fucking cowards.
Audit them and figure out, like...
Or, even worse, they also agree with this ideology. I say because they're fucking cowards, which may be true, but there could be something even more nefarious in that they actually agree with this shit.
Doing this. Big time.
Okay, so maybe in the EU they're a bank then. I don't think they are in the US yet, but maybe in the EU that's the case.
Logs, all of the different transactions, communication, and just figure this out. It would take like 5 seconds to figure this out.
Those companies put pressure on Steam, they then publicly denied it. So
Yeah, they
Valve
did.
had to be the one to tell the public the truth. It's clear that PayPal is now doing the same thing, blaming Steam to avoid talking about their own actions. When you put
What a
all the
surprise.
facts together, it shows a clear connection. This is a bigger plan to control what people can and can't buy online. For
That's
this
right.
Steam
And, okay, good. He said it. Because I say this every single stream. If we talk about payment processors, I say it. And I'm going to continue to say it because some folk just don't fucking get it. Or even if everybody gets it, it bears repeating so that it is ingrained and permanently here on the internet. Because trust me, nothing's ever gone forever once it's on the internet. Look, at the end of the day, you might not care about video games. You especially might not care about rape and incest and porn games and shit like that. You know what? Fucking fair enough. Those games are gross. Should they be censored? Should you, with your money, be told by some other individual who has arbitrary control over your money what you can and can't buy? No. Because it's porn games today. It's rated R movies next week. It's fucking McDonald's the week after that. And before you know it, it's anything and everything that they ideologically disagree with. If these fuckers have control over what you can and cannot spend your money on, that is an affront to your freedom. It is not about video games. It's not about abhorrent video games that feature porn and incest and what the fuck ever. It doesn't fucking matter. If these fuckers have the power to just turn your card off, to turn your money off for legal products, why the fuck would they ever just stop at these arbitrarily, subjectively bad games? They will never stop. Full stop.
Yeah, the banks are trying to create a monopoly on currency.
That's
and
true,
a monopoly
Subaru.
on trade in order to force certain viewpoints and ideologies into the mainstream that the public isn't accepting. And I think this goes beyond view.
Asmongold is entirely correct. It is to force an ideological change of the public. I keep saying the same goddamn thing.
Points and ideologies. It goes into culture. It goes into values, and it goes into everything. That's what they're doing. They're doing that intentionally, and they're trying to push it. They've been doing this for a long time, and you should don't let them do it. No, there's no reason to let them do it. I mean, you should have laws that regulate this and prevent it from happening. And
you will live in the pods. You will eat the bugs. You will be happy.
yeah, it's insane. Money's a great start to control. Yeah, if you can control the money, you can do that. How did all these ideal pushing fascists get into power? Because who do you think goes after power? People with ideals that want to push it.
Situation,
It's the
it all
power
began
paradox.
with an activist group asking payment companies to stop handling
Should have never
payments
done it.
for games with sexually explicit content.
Man, if I had it my way, and like I wouldn't actually do this because I'm an anarchist and I believe in freedom above fucking everything, but like it's fun to think about the idea that if I was in complete and utter power, I would just give power to people that despise the idea of having power. It'd be like, too bad, bitch, do your best. Like, Dude, there's a reason that Washington, D.C. has one of the highest centralized locations of psychopaths and sociopaths of anywhere in the fucking world. Because those are the type of folk that crave power. The moment someone's like, dude, no, I don't fucking want power, man. I don't want to delegate shit. I'd be like, yeah, that's why you're perfect for the job. Get in line, bitch. You a public servant now.
MasterCard and Visa were some of the first to act, which led to Steam's
made in Manhattan.
Denied doing this, but Valve's statement proved they were the ones responsible.
Yeah.
At that exact same time, the game store itch.io.
Oh, so what up, Gen T Maxi?
And it's also like I immediately believe Valve because they've done this with other people too. They've debanked multiple other groups of people. They've debanked organizations. This is very common that they
debanked Kanye. Look, I don't care whether or not you love or hate the Jews, okay? But you shouldn't be debanked just for hating the Jews. And you can't even blame the Jews for it because most of the banks are controlled by the fucking Irish. Like, you shouldn't be debanked for having an opinion no matter how abhorrent it is. It's fucking crazy. They recently debanked Archcast from PayPal. Then PayPal's like, oh, we're sorry, it was a mistake. We'll fix it. And didn't even give him an ETA as to when. Just said that it'll be fixed. This was a few days ago. I don't know if there's been an update since, but that was the case a few days ago.
They do this, and they've even, I think a Japanese
Correct,
person
Divina.
at Visa even said that they did it to protect their brand. So, I mean, they've said they did this. They've done it in the past. I mean, this is a pattern of behavior at this point.
Stripe removed. Stripe's statement was clear, saying it couldn't support this kind of content
Exactly,
because
fam.
of its banking partners. This proves that these banks and payment companies are indeed the ones stopping the payments.
And again, like if you were the government, like and you could control this, you could figure this out instantly, right? Like you say, who isn't? Okay, well then they're the ones that are the problem.
Right, but again, the government is in bed with these people. Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, all these motherfuckers say, hey, yo, Representative Swalwell, Representative Ocasio-Cortez, Representative Ted Cruz, how much you want for your donation campaign? Yeah, that's what you want? Well, we throw 2 extra zeros on there. Are you cool with that? Awesome. Here's the catch. When we start doing shit, you don't make any laws that say we can't do shit. And we'll slip you 2 extra zeros. And that's how this shit goes down, son.
Now we have the exact same thing happening with PayPal. A bank on PayPal's side has ended its agreement with Steam. The fact that all these events happened at the same time makes it impossible to think that this is just some wild coincidence. Now, you might be wondering, why was PayPal only removed for some countries? They start by making changes in smaller markets with fewer legal protections. This allows them to test their power and put pressure on companies without risking their biggest markets like the US and the EU. This strategy is meant to force companies like Valve to agree to their demands everywhere without a major fight.
What up, doll
the
bro?
good news is that Valve is not giving up. Their statement that they're actively looking for new payment methods for affected customers is a big sign that they are fighting for gamers and will not be pushed around by these companies.
No, Valve is not just fighting for gamers. Like, obviously, optically that's true. They're a fucking video game platform, so yes. But Valve is fighting a much bigger battle than just for gamers. Valve is fighting a battle for the financial freedom of every person in the quote-unquote free world. This goes so far beyond gamers. Like, Valve, I hate sucking off Big Daddy Corpo, but Valve may go down in history as one of the greatest corporations in terms of fighting for the freedom of, for just freedom. I was going to say freedom of choice, but really, just fucking freedom.
Although they sort of have to right now.
Well, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to work with them to an extent, right? I mean, like it's an extent, but I think that these companies are doing it on purpose, and I think that again, there needs to be a investigation, like an antitrust lawsuit about this, that puts all of these communications into discovery for the courts. I think that's what needs to happen. That's what hasn't happened yet, and it's a huge problem that it hasn't.
Right, but why hasn't it happened? I can only say so many times it's because these motherfuckers are in bed with these corporations.
If it does,
and they're getting bent the fuck over, and they love it. Harder, daddy!
PayPal ban is not a bug.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether it's the banks, card networks, payment processors, they all try to deny any of this is happening.
What a surprise.
But there is a clear history, not just with Steam, but for all kinds of reasons. It's getting so big that we have the Japanese government and even Donald Trump stepping in to stop this from happening by signing a new executive order.
They would, Divina. I agree.
You understand? Like, it's great to have somebody like Elon Musk that's doing this in a way that is beneficial, that you and I agree with. But ultimately, a good billionaire in charge of a situation is still a problematic situation, period.
Not only is Asmongold correct about that, a good billionaire in charge of a situation is still a bad thing. Like, again, read Civil War. Read the Marvel Comics Civil War. Is Tony Stark a good guy? Technically. Is he willing to become a villain to throw away the rights of the people because safety is more important for freedom? Yes, he is. Because his view of good and evil is skewed. Not only that, but Elon Musk, right now, he's like people's only line of defense. Elon, when are you going to buy Disney and fix it? Elon, when are you going to buy YouTube and fix it? Big Daddy Elon, guys, we cannot just be complacent with letting one fucking billionaire solve all of our goddamn problems. That is the opposite end of the slippery slope spectrum.
It's not like it automatically makes the situation good. It just makes it palatable in the meantime. Like, nobody lives forever. I mean, I don't know, at least so far. And
correct,
so
Fab.
The problem
correct.
Is that you can't rely on good actors. If you could just rely on good actors, we wouldn't need any laws. You need to have rules.
Fair banking for all Americans. We even got a statement from the chairman of the FDIC mentioning how they are going to be adding a new rule so these financial companies have to stop using reputational risk as a reason to deny business.
Easy.
So now we have massive...
See how fucking easy that is? All you do is you make it a law. Problems.
I mean, no, it is not that easy. If all you do is make it a law, problem solved, then there'd be no more fucking murders. There'd be no more fucking drug dealing. There'd be no more fucking speeding tickets. Like, no. Anything that sounds too good to be true probably is. And let me tell you, while I love that Donald Trump is taking this on, while I love there's the idea of this executive order and whatnot, it sounds too good to be true. Therefore, it probably is.
Solved.
Yes, correct, Fab. That's another issue. This is only for the U.S., effectively.
PayPal removing service on Steam for a bunch of countries because of their acquiring banks, and Stripe removing service on
Gravestone. That's baller.
Partners. So this is clearly a massive problem that needs to be fixed. In 6 months, though, the government will officially have a strategy on stopping this from happening, which could include new laws and regulations. But obviously, this might not help everyone around the world, like what we are seeing with PayPal removing service in select countries. The best part about this new statement, though, is that Valve officially
confirmed I know, Corn Boy, and he's a fucking idiot for that.
Methods, especially for the affected countries. We have joked about the idea of Valve Pay, but Valve joining the payment space to avoid these problems really doesn't seem like a stretch anymore. Around 20...
I think that a lot of people want to have a payment processor that's a payment processor. Not a sensor, not a method of control, just a processor that processes payments. It's literally that.
Payment processors need to be treated as utilities. Bro, if your electric company shut your shit down because you're watching porn and they're anti-porn, that shit would be lawsuit city. Payment processors need to be treated the exact same goddamn way.
Simple.
Oh yeah, he did. Fab, I roasted him to hell and back. A lot of us did.
Microsoft's new Windows 8 and its App Store model could threaten Steam's dominance.
Windows 8, not a good time.
PC gaming. This worry directly led...
Uma Musume is #1?
I love that that's his takeaway.
Oh my god.
Facts, LMA.
Holy shit, can you believe that?
Gaming. This worry directly led Valve to create its own operating system, SteamOS, to reduce its reliance on Windows.
What up, Netflix
Anyone
foreign?
who knows about SteamOS now, it outperforms Windows on gaming benchmarks. With this being such a big issue, that clearly shows how these companies like Steam heavily rely on these payment companies, and Gabe Newell loving to be a game changer from his deep sea marine research to his neuroscience.
Yes, Cornboy, that was just an easy example.
I wouldn't put it past them to try to make a solution. We also can't forget Elon Musk.
Also, I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. Stop censoring yourself in chat. If you're going to send a super chat and YouTube makes you censor it, fair enough, I understand. But if you're just doing a regular chat, guys, I'm a free speech channel. I don't want you to worry about getting my channel taken down. Fucking say porn. I don't do that whole softening of language bullshit. You can say porn. I don't give a fuck.
Who is aware of the Steam censorship
he knows about
has mentioned he is working on XPay. So this is a problem that we are dealing with right now, but hopefully it will.
It's like having Elon Musk do it would be great, right? But at the end of the day, that's still one person, right? You've got to have more to it than just that. I mean, it kind of goes without saying, but yeah, it's literally just that simple. But for some people, they don't really get it.
Be fixed soon. Do you think we can see Rule 15 removed from Steam by next year?
Yo, what's up, guys? We are in Dallas, Texas today.
Yeah, I mean, there it is, and Elon will stop them. I mean, I think that really the problem is not exactly Elon. It's not like
if you've tried to buy a game on
YouTube super chats do censor stuff, so we have to get creative in super chats at times. It's frustrating as hell. Yeah, oh, trust me, I understand completely. I've had to very much alter and change the way I say shit in super chats. But YouTube, by and large, doesn't censor regular chats. So if you're just doing a regular chat and you want to say some egregious shit, like, obviously don't be dropping N-bombs with the hard R and whatnot. I like my channel. But yeah, don't soft censor yourself just because, you know, I've heard people, like, I've unironically heard people say PDF file in real fucking life instead of saying pedophile, because they're so used to, like, YouTube content speak and shit. It's terrible. Like, once you get used to soft censoring on the internet, you're just going to automatically do it in real life, and that is terrible for society, in my opinion. Yes, newspeak. Exactly, Hugo.
You can solve a symptom by replacing it with a better symptom, but at the end of the day, you still have the same problem. You really see that, like, you get the point, right? Is like, just because you have a positive disease, it's still a disease. You don't want to have any diseases. Like, you don't want to have this weapon be usable by anyone. That's the issue, is that you can't have this weapon exist, period. Now, obviously, the next best thing is to have it be used by somebody that we agree with or we're aligned with, right? Which I think Elon on these issues, I am pretty much completely aligned with him on these issues. I think most people.
By and large, I've been censored and banned one time for 24 hours. And it happens to Pouty as well. It happens to Pouty as well. You're definitely not the only one.
Like 1999.
What up, Sammy?
Today, right? I don't believe Elon at all, to be honest. Why? I mean, Elon clearly followed through with what he promised with Twitter. He did. He unbanned Alex Jones. He unbanned Nick Fuentes. He unbanned Donald Trump. He basically enforced freedom of speech. He did it. He delivered. Like, he said he was going to do the thing. He did the...
I mean, I would agree for the most part. I still think X has a long way to go in terms of its free speech and whatnot. There's definitely posts I've had that have gotten censored. I've been temp banned from X for a full 7 days, twice since Elon took over. Yeah, no. The free speech is not there yet. But it is better, and I will give credit where it's due.
Thing. That's it. And so, yeah, I would fucking believe him. So, and also, like, by the way, like, why wouldn't he want to do that? Like, it's another method of him
I get it,
having
Netflix,
more
for sure.
control over economies and having another vector of business that he can operate under and function under. It's common sense that he would want to do this himself. Of course he would want to do this. Yeah, it's more vertical integration for all of his businesses. It's more money, more control, more in-house decision-making. You're removing another outside act.
Well, and like, so Divine Douglas says all these euphemisms create confusion and debase the English language. I mean, slang will always be a thing. Like, you know, sweet back in the 60s, again, according to what my social studies teacher told me in 6th grade, I don't know why, I've never forgotten this, but I remember my social studies teacher in 6th grade telling me, like, yeah, when I was a kid in the 60s, sweet didn't mean cool or awesome. Like, sweet was specifically used for things like candy, things that had a sweet taste to them. Like, slang will always be a thing. So I don't think that it inherently debases the English language. It's when it's done... It's when newspeak is used to force change amongst the society for ideological purposes that it becomes a problem. Like, obviously, homie is not really a word, but I say it all the time because it's slang and we're used to it. You call people bro who aren't really your brother. Like, so I don't think that just changes to the language are inherently a bad thing.
It aligns with his decision making completely. So yeah, it's really just that simple. And Elon isn't enforcing freedom of speech because he's still censoring things he personally doesn't like. Well, before we move on, I'd like to let me give the video a like. I mean, Waters made a lot of really good videos about this topic, and I agree with him. Can you give me an example of that? Can you give me an example of Elon banning people because he doesn't like them? Because I hear this all the time.
Elon did temp ban journalists that were talking mad shit on him when he first bought X. And then people bitched and moaned like, yo, that's fucked up. Stop. And to his credit, he did stop. But yes, that has happened.
I hear people say this, but I never hear any examples. And I think that's very weird. He deleted people's posts about him with Ghislaine Maxwell. How do you know that he deleted them? Like, I mean, so a post got deleted, and so let me get this straight. So there was a post on Twitter,
and that may have been Elon trolling, fair enough, but when your trolling can so easily be misconstrued as censoring speech because after you've gone on your pulpit to talk about how you are so pro free speech, that trolling, if that's what it was, fell flat.
Only come to the conclusion that it was Elon.
Yeah, Mecha Hitler got censored. Yep.
It's violating TOS. Maybe it is. I don't know if it violated TOS or not. You remove your check mark? Yeah, but like, I mean, that's not removing somebody's freedom of speech. Like, it's just not. Like, I understand, like, that was dumb, but like, are we really gonna act like these are the same things? They're obviously not.
Yeah,
like,
but Sal, he did bring him back. It took him a bit to bring him back, but he did bring him back. So again, like, and this is where, in my opinion, we cannot be like the left. The left never forgives. The left always uses your past against you. The left, they will cancel you and never give you a chance to redeem yourself. You will always be the bad guy they claimed you were. So in order for us to not be like that, we have to give credit where it's due. So, did he not unban Alex Jones at first because of the Sandy Hook stuff? True, he did not. Until he did. At which point, all right, he made the right call. He did the right thing. For me, water under the bridge. Forgive, but don't forget, basically.
Post this. Look. Silencing critics. This is for 2 years ago. So some guy got suspended for something. Who knows what happened? I mean, look at all these photos. So clearly you're not getting banned, and you can clearly say this on Twitter. I mean, it's literally right there. I mean, it's obviously not. He got Streisand affected by it. It's not Streisand effect. It's like, obviously people are going to post photos of him with her. Like, I don't think you need a Streisand effect to this. Like, come on, man. Like, you're really going that far.
Yeah, that's not what the Streisand effect is. Like, has Elon banned people incorrectly? Or not him personally, maybe, but like his platform, X? Yes. But that's not what the Streisand effect is. Hitler rants? Is Hitler rants that funny, those types of funny videos that, like, it's Hitler from that one movie and they replace the subtitles with ridiculous shit? If so, that stuff's funny as hell. No, I disagree, Adam. Laura Loomer needs to be able to say that shit, and everybody needs to roast her into oblivion. I do not care. I shouldn't say I don't care what she's saying. I do. I think Laura Loomer is one of the biggest, disgusting pieces of shit. I can't stand that broad. She is a zealot. She has done more to hurt MAGA, or MAGA, however you want to say it, than probably any other individual on the fucking planet. Laura Loomer is a dipshit. One of my very first, big videos that blew up was a video where I was talking ridiculous shit on Laura Loomer. This was 2 years ago or something. So do I like her? No. Do I think she should be suspended for what she says? No. Because freedom of speech is freedom of speech, not only speech we like. She can say the most egregious shit about Medal of Honor recipients she wants, and that shit needs to be public, and we need to roast her for it. If these bad ideologies needs to be in the marketplace of ideas so everyone else can shout those ideas down. And yes, Netflix, well, no, I'm not the same because I'm a fucking anarchist, but I get it. They used a few select scenes from the film Downfall and used English subtitles. Yeah, those, dude, years ago, I saw a fucking hilarious one about the anime Gurren Lagann, and it had me fucking rolling. I had never seen it before, that sort of clip. I loved the anime. That shit was funny as fuck.
With it, you're really going that far? Elon doesn't censor X? Yeah, I mean, again, so he tried to censor it, but then he couldn't. So the example that you have of him censoring is him not censoring. Good one. That's great. Yeah. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate it.
I don't even know if she's good at that, Corn Boy.
Yeah, I pretty much.
She might be.
This
I don't know.
With the payment processors, I think is ridiculous. I'm very glad to see more people putting control on
I haven't watched one of those videos in ages. Fantastic. I need to check one out. All right. That was great. Let's see. Video's a little long. We're wrapping in 20 minutes. So I don't know that I can do that one. All right. Maybe I'll save that for Neon Leon tomorrow. And we'll do this one instead. Yeah, all in all, that was a great video. I quite enjoyed that. That was a very good video. Not only from Asmongold, because about fucking time he had a somewhat correct take on this situation after getting just blasted the last couple of weeks, rightfully so. But also the original video that we were commentating over was an absolute banger. So yeah, we're going to cover Collective Shout pretty much every live stream as long as there's new information to report. And by God, I hope that there is always new information to report, because we've, not just Collective Shout, but this entire payment processor situation. All right. So this was thrown in the Discord, I think by Serranos. It's a very short video, but why men are naturally drawn towards big bottoms, anthropologist explains. I'm pretty sure we all know the reasoning behind this, why dudes like big asses, but it seems like a fun video to wind down with.
I'm a scientist studying human mating, and today I'm going to explain why...
Oh, come on, YouTube. Quit being a homo.
I'm a scientist studying human mating, and today I'm going to explain why men like big butts. There are really three key things to understand here, the first of which is that we're really talking about fat. I know fat is a bad word in the Anglosphere, but one thing I want you to notice is that, ironically, the features that most men find most attractive on women's bodies are fat deposits.
He's not wrong, to be fair. He's not wrong. Fat is not inherently bad. In fact, when you're doing keto or carnivore or whatnot, you're on a high-fat diet. And no, I don't agree with suspensions either, Adam. I don't agree with suspensions whatsoever. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, fat's not inherently bad. It's where the fat is that's bad. Like your boy is a thigh guy. Thick thighs save lives. That shit on your stomach? Oh, fuck you. You a gross hag. We ain't playing that game. Titties. Big titties are fat bags. Ain't nothing wrong with it. We like fat bags.
Large breasts, large hips, large thighs. Today's topic, a large rear end. People might...
But, hold on. All right, let's talk about this further. We'll get to this video in a sec. Adam, a suspension won't do anything. She'll come back to X after 7 days. She'll start slamming Elon for censorship. She'll start going harder. Laura Loomer has proven time and time again to play the victim card, to never learn any lessons, nothing. A 7-day suspension will do literally nothing to make her change her ways. So therefore, all it is temp censorship. There is no reason. I get that you're emotionally tied to it because of your service. And again, thank you for your service. Trust me, I respect you and what you do far more than anything that dumb cunt's ever done. But your thinking is out of line here due to your emotional attachment to the situation. If you take a step back and look at this objectively, a suspension will do nothing. But I don't think the rest of us should get suspensions for days. I don't. I don't think she should get them, and I don't think we should either. I am anti any sort of suspension, period. Unless you actively break a law, you shouldn't be suspended from X. And by that point, the fact you broke a law is far more important than any sort of, whatever consequences are going to come from you being on X. If it is protected by the First Amendment, you should not be able to get in trouble for it on X. That is my stance. I shouldn't be suspended for saying faggot on X. She shouldn't be suspended for talking the dumbass shit she talks about the military. No. Especially when, like I said, she is the type of individual who will not learn from the experience. Instead, she will double, triple, and quadruple down and play the victim card and throw a fit about how big Space Daddy Elon wronged Donald Trump and make a whole political production out of it. A suspension for his son is like giving him a holiday vacation, to be honest. Then again, his butt buds with Dan Clancy. Exactly. A suspension, that's a great example. A suspension for Hassan is a fucking paid vacation, effectively. Like, I say paid vacation because the dude's not hurting for cash. Obviously, he's not making money while he's suspended. But, like, the dude ain't hurting for cash. Yes, exactly, Netflix Warren. When you censor crazies, you give them validation. Even a suspension is still a temporary deplatforming. Nah, I ain't about that. I ain't about that in any way, shape, or form. I get she says egregious shit. But I mean, that doesn't, in my opinion, outweigh the responsibility we have to protect free speech. Yeah, you potentially martyr them. Absolutely. Okay, Adam, you're not listening, though. She can get suspended. Right now, under the rules, she can. I'm saying she shouldn't be able to, nor should the rest of us. Laura Loomer's been suspended before. Like, clearly she can be suspended. I think this is common sense as well, Netflix. I think this is common sense as well. It's only a day, it's been long. Yeah, that's entirely true. Yeah, Hassan gets banned, it's for one fucking day. Like, Laura Loomer doesn't have any sort of special fucking protection that any of us don't have. She's been suspended before. Multiple times, I'm pretty sure, actually. And it's always temporary, like it is for us. I'm saying temporary suspensions, no matter who it is, should not be a thing at all unless an actual crime is committed. Dude, by her freely running her mouth, you're good. It helps. I mean, that's true, too. By letting this dumb broad run her mouth, again, we can then rally around the bad marketplace of ideas and shout that shit down en masse. Like, that's... We need people to be able to espouse ridiculous shit so that we can point and laugh and shame them into a hole they should never crawl out of. No worries, LMA. We're wrapping up in 15 minutes anyway, so if you're not back by then, no worries. Truly appreciate you being here, girly. But how is it a double standard? I don't think we're not meeting in the middle here, because I'm clearly not understanding what you're saying, or you're not understanding what I'm saying, or both. How is it a double standard? Because she can be suspended. My argument is that she shouldn't be able to be, nor should anyone else. How is that a double standard? That doesn't meet the qualifications for a double standard. Worked for Rev too. What Rev says? Des. I don't usually follow him. I actually have a reaction of his I'll probably do tomorrow. Because we don't have time for it today. But yeah, I don't traditionally follow him. So if he's been banned or whatnot from Twitch or whatever, I'm not aware of it. Okay, so if you get what I'm saying, where's the disconnect then? Oh, you mean Rev shaming people? Yeah. Shame. We need to bring shame back to this fucking culture. We absolutely gotta bring shame back to this motherfucking culture. Like, for real. It's off-putting hearing a man's voice come out of a little girl avatar. Yeah, I agree. That shit's weird. That shit weird as fuck. Like, at least Mama Akko sounds like a girl. Like, at least Mama Akko sounds like a girl. I'm gonna be real. So that's, yeah, bring back bullying. For real. Bring back bullying. Gamer Empress Raid. What up? How you doing, 40K Empress? Everybody make sure you sub to this beautiful woman right here. She is incredible. She is amazing. 40K Empress is just an absolute bash in the community. What a bad bitch. You gotta love it. Gamer Empress in the house. We talking free speech right now. We talking whether or not people shouldn't be suspended on X for things they say. And then we're going to talk about women's fat asses. Shame doesn't always work, but it's good to have on hand. Well, and that's the... Shame doesn't work because we have fostered a society that doesn't feel shame. We need to bring that shit back. We need to make a society where, like... Because people are too afraid to shame other people. To the point to where if only a minority is shaming you, you're not really going to feel shame because it's only a minority doing it. When a majority shames you, then you be feeling some shit. In many cases, not all of them. Agree to me, lefties are getting away with bad behaviors. Yeah, I agree Rev comes across creepy with that female avatar when he's a man. Yeah, dude, it's weird. It's fucking weird. Like, I got nothing against the dude. Do what you want. He makes content that people love. He does a lot of shit for his community, I would imagine. Like, yeah, go for it. But it's kind of fucking weird. Like, it's definitely fucking weird. Yeah, there's a lot of motherfuckers wearing outfits they ought not be wearing. It's weird. Oh, Dax, you know that Mama Akko is... Yeah. Akko is a character. Mama Akko's not gay or trans or anything. He's like, no, in real life, I'm a dude. I do dude shit. Like, Akko's just a character he made, and that he plays when he does his streams and whatnot. Yeah. You didn't know that Mama Akko was a dude? When it's someone big, it takes a lot to be suspended. For small accounts, get it like nothing. Well, how much of that... So I get what you're saying. Yes, that's true. Now, that being said, how much of that is is X arbitrarily enforcing the rules, and how much that is algorithms and spam bots and like detecting what they think are spam bots because they're small accounts? Like, is it wrong that people get suspended for false shit? Absolutely. That being said, I don't know that we have enough information or proof to be like, oh, X has people that are working on the back end that are favoring people. Like, I would need to see evidence of that. What's more likely is that smaller accounts are more likely to be viewed algorithmically as bots, especially if they have, like, no traction, say egregious shit that a lot of bots say, things like that. So yeah, while it does seem unfairly applied, it also there's other potentially logical explanations than just someone's getting special treatment. Yeah, he definitely does have a feminine voice, Dax. You're entirely correct. And yes, accountability does need to be brought back. All right, we got 10 minutes left. Let's go ahead and let's keep this video going. This is why men love fat asses.
Say fat is unattractive, but they're really only talking about some fat when they say this. So the question for today is, why is this fat, gluteofemoral fat, fat on the rear end, considered so attractive, whereas fat in the armpit or the stomach or under the neck is not? Now,
I mean, I would imagine, and I think this is obvious. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure this is obvious. One is in an organ, like one is in a particular part of the body that rears children. Therefore, we're biologically predisposed to, view that fat as positive for mating purposes. If you got a woman with a slim stomach and a fat ass and wide hips and whatnot, childbirthing, evolution has proven us that is a woman that could rear children. And no, facial fat is not the worst kind. It's not good, but it's not the worst. Let me tell you, stomach fat, arm fat, ankle fat, motherfuckers are cankles, fucking gross.
note that it's true that a large bottom also contains muscle. And that might be part of the selective story here, right? Maybe part of this is selection for...
Prophet of the Dragon Raid, how you doing, you beautiful bastard? I hope you had an awesome stream with Zax, my man. Hope you had an awesome stream with Zax. Thank you so much for the raid, homie. You truly didn't need to. Thank you. Fantastically, amazingly brilliant is leg fat. It depends on where on the leg. Because, again, the thighs connect to the hips. And wide hips, thick thighs, again, I would imagine we are biologically wired to like that sort of fat because it goes in to the biological concept of mating. Yeah, dude. I'm a thigh guy, for real. Again, dude, Prophet, thank you so much, homie.
Large glutes, athleticism in mates. But usually when building glutes works as a means of beautification, it's usually because it pushes the body fat out to make it appear more copious. Not because men are necessarily finding the muscle itself desirable, or so it seems. And that actually brings us to the second key item, which is that sometimes some men do in fact find fat in general to be desirable, and these men can teach us something very interesting about our evolved psychology. A variety...
If you as an individual, man or woman, you like some fat on a motherfucker in places where fat ought not be, that, my friends, is a fetish. I mean, it ain't... There's no reason to find fat places where there ought not be fat attractive. Like, that point is a fetish. Maybe I'm wrong, but... I'm more talking the upper half where fluid can build up easily and clog the arteries in the feet. Oh, yeah. I don't even want to talk about feet. I ain't Kata.
Of data show that when men are experiencing poverty or instability, they prefer larger women. There are experimental studies showing that men prefer heavier women before dinner compared to after dinner. There's
Men prefer heavier women before dinner than after. That's a really weird fucking study. I don't know who funded that. That's weird. Oh my god, Divina, that's so gross. Gamer Empress, a big thing that she does is fitness. Like, I bet she's pretty, yeah, I bet you've got a lot to say on this one, girly.
Logical literature showing that women in some cultures, such as the Efik of southern Nigeria, restrict movement and increase calories as a means of beautification. There's even paleoanthropological literature showing Venus figurines becoming more obese in regions of glacial stress in Europe. So there's a suite of studies here.
Yeah, but how much of that is due to being fat would be a sign of wealth? So it's not necessarily they were desirable in a sexual manner. They're desirable because of what they could provide with whatever their system of wealth was in those ancient times. I mean, I would imagine that that is more likely the case. I could be wrong, but I would imagine that that's more likely the case.
converging on the same theme, but what explains them? Why would men prefer women with more body fat during times of hardship? Well, a common theory related to the overarching insurance hypothesis is that if there is a...
Yes, that is a byproduct of the first world, Gamer Empress. I talk about this all the fucking time. Like, when you live in a society when even the pores are fucking whales, we got ourselves a goddamn problem. Didn't China have a penchant for small feet and would often try to restrict women's feet in particular? That's famous in some sort of culture. It might be China. In fact, it's probably China. That seems like some fucking Chinese shit. But I don't know. I know that was a thing, but I don't know if China's the right area, the right region or country or not. But that is definitely a thing, yes.
It would be adaptive for men's preferences to shift towards women who have more stored calories, right? That's what fat is. A woman with copious body fat is far less likely to experience infertility or starvation due to famine or other sources of...
Okay, so yeah, I was correct. Like, it speaks to their wealth. Like, yeah, if they're a fucking larger woman, which, by the way, I could be wrong, but I would imagine fat people in, like, ancient Greece were different than fat people now. Like, I could be wrong. I'm not exactly a fucking ancient Greek expert or nothing like that. But I would imagine fat back then is, like, still doesn't compare to fat now. And how much of that's because of our gluttonous, lazy lifestyle? How much of that's because of what's in our food? There's probably a bunch of variables. But the point is, I bet they still didn't look the same sort of fat by comparison.
Insecurity. And they're also, frankly, far more likely to be able to feed you, right? They probably know where the yams are. And so I think one could safely expect from this literature that larger bottoms would be more attractive to men who have experienced resource insecurity, especially food insecurity, since these men would benefit the most from selecting a woman with more stored fat. Now, I know what you're...
So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it all comes back to breeding, which is what I said at the beginning. It all comes with finding a mate. I mean that's what all this is going to come down to. Whether it be because they've got resources, whether it be because they've got childbirthing hips, whatever the reason, it all comes back to biological predisposition to what would make the most suitable mate. Especially when, you know, this is a time, ancient history, whatnot, where women would frequently die in childbirth because medical expertise is not what it is now. I can't imagine anyone in ancient Greece being fat if they're not politicians. Yeah, exactly. My thoughts exactly, Gamer Empress. Can't remember where I heard it from. I found something. Yeah, foot binding. Ah, fucking hell. Ancient Greeks took really good care of their bodies, a very positive outlook on fitness. It's times more like the Dark Ages when being fat was nice because they knew you had... Yeah, exactly, Sammy.
You're thinking. Mac, and even in wealthy cultures and contexts where men don't have food insecurity issues, they still prefer women with relatively fat butts, right? That is fat relative to the rest of their body. Why would that be the case? Well, hear me out. It's going to sound quite wacky. This is the third thing you've been waiting for. It's probably because it's good for infant brain development. Gluteofemoral fat.
Okay, I knew it would have to do with child rearing and childbearing, but I didn't know that a fat ass was good for baby brain. Did anyone see that coming? Like, the fatter the ass, the smarter the baby. I'm kind of liking this. Like, from now on, dudes watching this chat, only fuck bitches with fat asses if you plan on knocking them up. Because you don't want to make little fucking kids that are going to fall to Darwinism. We don't need those little fuckers, right? Ain't no reason to have a dumb kid. If you have a dumb kid, you guys didn't try hard enough. Like, maybe next time try some different positions, get a little funky with it, make sure you burn some calories. I'm liking this logic.
Fat is rich in long-chain polyunsaturated fatty acids that are essential for infant brain health and development. And during pregnancy, this fat is mobilized to support the developing fetus's brain. And anecdotally, you will hear women talk about this, right? I lost my butt during pregnancy. So the theory put forward by Lasik and Gollin.
Damn, he's right. I never really thought about that, but women do lose their ass during pregnancy. Dude, babies feast on ass. Like, I want you to think about this. This is a factual sentence. Babies feed on ass. Bro, humans are weird, dog. Now, humans straight weird, son.
goes like this. Men who preferred women with larger butts were more likely to reproduce with women who had more of this long-chain polyunsaturated fatty acids on their rear end, and women with more of these healthy fats were more likely to have babies who had healthier brain development, and babies with healthier brain development were more likely to survive and reproduce and pass on their father's preference for large bottoms. This preference plausibly explains how a preference for fatter bottoms could have proliferated and obtained its robust place in men's evolved psychology today. Anyway, thank you for listening. If you're a woman listening and you don't have a large butt, don't stress about it. Men's preferences are very diverse. This isn't even a universal preference. And even men who have this preference, they generally factor in far more things as part of their selective process when choosing a life partner. Until next time.
Alright, that was pretty based. That was a nice video to end the stream on, guys. I ain't gonna front. That was a pretty good video to end this fucking stream on. Alright, let's find out who we gonna raid. And then we'll get the fuck out of here for the night. But before we do, I gotta run the poll. I gotta run the poll. I will run the poll while we're, it was easier to lose fat on the yeah, there's that too, for sure. Alright. Let me run this poll real quick, so don't go anywhere. And I've got a couple announcements before we officially end. Start poll. Alright. Saturday night Discord watch party film. Alright, we've got War of the Worlds 2025. Hackers and the Vita Carnis analog horror. These are the ones that were thrown in the Discord that I remember. The Vita Carnis analog horror YouTube. Alright. We'll leave this poll open for a bit. Everybody vote on it. So Saturday night, after Saturday Night Hypnosis, we will be doing a watch party in the Discord. And obviously, you gotta be a member to be part of that. So if you ain't a member, or if you haven't joined the Discord, you need to real soon, like. But, yeah, go ahead and vote which movie or video or whatever we'll be watching. I'll find a way to get that taken care of. In the meantime, while y'all are voting, let's see who's live so that we can raid them. Oh, yeah, being in the UK, that probably would be too late for you. Sorry, Fab. It's the only time I've got time to do it this week. Excuse me. It won't always be that time, mind you. The watch parties will vary throughout the week depending on when we, yeah, the watch parties will vary on the week depending on what my schedule is. Oh, you know what? Hey! Phone Collecting says, hackers for a 2-banger. I hope you also voted, because it only counts if you vote. But truly appreciate it. Thank you. Let's get you a clip. You know what? I haven't played this one in a minute. You can't keep getting away with it! Alright, let me see. Because Hypno raids me all the time, and I don't get to raid him very often. Let me see when his show starts. Alright, no, it's Griff, is it Hypnotic Live? Is that the channel that does it? Hold on. Yeah, Hypnotic Gaming Live. That's the channel he's doing it on. The Sandra Bullock movie? Not in a long time, but I have seen it, yeah. Scheduled for 4:50. No, Hypno's show isn't for another hour and 15 minutes. So, yep, we're not raiding Hypno. I would, but we're not raiding Hypno. You know what? We'll raid Irwin. We'll raid Irwin. I haven't raided Irwin in a minute. Alrighty. So, we will keep this poll going till I finish the final announcement, which is tonight on the gaming channel. If you guys are unaware, I have a separate channel. It's only been around for about a month or so, and I haven't done much with it yet. Few streams. But I'll link it real quick, just in case you're not familiar with it. Tonight on the gaming channel, we will be doing Dead Take. the new Abu Bakr Salim horror game. We're going to be streaming that for the very first time. So, if you guys want in, that will be directly after Hold My DualShock. They end at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Yeah, we will be doing a dead take stream. It'll be my first time playing the game. So, I will post in the Discord as well. So, yeah, all in all, love to see you guys there tonight. Trying to grow the gaming channel. No politics, nothing like that. It's just straight gaming and hanging with you guys in chat. Love you as well, Gamer Empress. You are an absolute baddie. Alright, let's go ahead and end the poll. And it looks like War of the Worlds won. So we will be doing War of the Worlds Saturday night in the Discord. Alrighty. I've got the raid set up. Every single one of you, we're going to hop on over to Irwin's show. I want you to type Vital Idol raid in the chat. Thank you so much for those of you that donated. It truly means the world to me. It's because of you that I'm able to do this full time. Absolutely appreciate it. Those of you that can't or choose not to or whatnot, I'm just glad you're here. You help drive the conversation. It's a great time. Tomorrow night is Neon Leon. Make sure to check out the Shoe on Head reaction video I did. And I will see you guys for the videos tomorrow, the streams tomorrow. Until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere, and this has been Words of Paradise.